Bethany.
Hi, Bethany.
So nice to meet you. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, thank you.
How's your day been going so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you drove here from Austin?
I did.
Right? That's quite a drive.
Yes.
How's the traffic?
I knew you were really good, so I thought it was worth it.
Oh, well, thanks.
Worth
Good.
it.
Good.
Yeah.
I love getting your grills.
Oh, you know, it was heavy traffic as usual.
Yeah, I've heard Austin's getting worse with their traffic situation.
Yes, it is.
You try to avoid that. Are you in South Austin, North Austin?
I'm in North Austin.
Okay, so that's kind of
The
further.
downtown, I just feel like I need a helicopter to kind of
Yeah.
avoid all that. So.
Yeah, so much construction. It's going on.
Yes.
I know, it's crazy. Well, I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
So I see that you brought your papers.
Yes.
Were you able to go over everything?
Yes, yeah, I looked over a bit.
Okay, any questions so far?
So far, I don't have any.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, then I'll just go ahead and I'll kind of go over some bullet points
Okay.
to like make sure that we have, everything understood.
Okay.
I do want you to feel comfortable with being here and, opening up to me. This is we're going to have a very committed relationship here, and just be aware that there's no timeline as far as working through working through everything. There's no cutoff point or anything like that, however long it takes. We want to make sure that we're able to work through any situations.
Okay.
If, however, you're not satisfied here, then I'd be happy to refer you somewhere else for someone that you might be more, that you could work through. And also understand that if there's any medication that would need to be prescribed, I'm not able to do so, but I'd be happy to refer you to a psychiatrist who would be able to do that for you.
Okay.
As far as our relationship, it's going to be a professional relationship, and I just want you to be comfortable with knowing that if I ever see you out in public, I'm not going to say hi to you, or your information will not be disclosed while we're out
there. You won't say hi to me?
No, I'm not going to. I mean, unless you want to make up a story about how you know me, but I think
No,
I think it'd be best to
it's
just kind of
easier
just in case someone
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So there are 5 situations in which I would have to disclose your confidentiality, and which I'll go over now. The first one is if I feel that you are a harm to yourself or to others. Second one is if you disclose any abuse towards child or elderly. That would be physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional, and neglect, okay?
Okay.
If you disclose that you are having there's a sexual contact with another mental health professional. If I am ordered by the court to disclose your information, then I would have to do so. And then the last one is if you yourself were to put down in writing that you would like for me to disclose that information. All right? Does all that make sense? Any questions there?
So as long as it's not one of those 5 things, everything I share with you will be
Absolutely. Everything will stay within these 4 walls. Absolutely. Okay?
Great.
And then as far as the fees, I'm assuming you went ahead and read over that.
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I'll just go over a few things. We have a 24-hour canceling policy. So if you do not cancel within the 24 hours, then you'll be charged half of your fee. Okay. You are allowed 2 no-call, no-shows, and after that, then I would have to refer you to another professional, since I would no longer be able to serve you after that. Okay, does that all make sense?
Sure.
Okay, so any questions about any of that? Excuse me.
I can't think of any at this point.
Okay, well, anytime something comes up, I want you to know that, feel more than happy to answer any of your questions. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. So tell me what brings you in here today.
Well, it's kind of been a really crazy time. I've kind of had a lot of stuff going on. Just to give you a little background, I have been in a long-term relationship with a man, and it's really kind of like, it's just not really going anywhere, I mean, like, he's a good guy, and, I'm a good person, but it's just, I think he's maybe got some commitment issues, and we just can't seem to work through our problems, and so I'm, I don't know if, do you see couples as well, if he would be interested in coming in at some
Absolutely,
point?
that's all up to you.
But at this point, I'm kind of moving towards thinking that I may want to end things.
Okay.
And that's a really big decision for me because he's been, really my main support, especially whenever life has been difficult.
Right.
And this has been a really tough year for me because I've experienced the death of my grandmother, and she and I were very close.
Sorry to hear that.
And thank you. And so, you know, he was really, he tends to do really great with support during tough things, and so I'm appreciative of that, and so I kind of rely on him with that, but at the same time I realize, you know, I'm not getting any younger, and I would like to get married and have children, and he doesn't really want to do that, and so I'm having a really hard decision trying to figure out like whether or not I should stay or whether I should go, and what that might look like, because we've been together so long that I just don't really even know what that transition would look like. So.
Okay, and I'm sorry, can I ask you, how long have you all been together?
8 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good chunk of your life.
I know, and like some people are like, oh, you're crazy, why have you been there for that long? But I mean, you know, he's not a jerk. I mean, he's a good person, it's just not really moving forward and going anywhere. So, you know, I think sometimes it would be easier if he were a jerk, you know, but that's not the case. So, yeah. So, and it's just been really hard, you know, grieving the loss of, you know, my grandmother. And especially because she was kind of the last main family support that I had.
Okay.
And also, I'm making a decision to possibly go back to school.
Okay.
And that's, you know, that's just really overwhelming because I've never thought I would do that, and I'm also in process right now of moving.
Okay.
So
there's a lot going on.
And I've also contemplating a job change as well.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I'm just it's just feeling like a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
Right
I mean,
now.
that's a lot. That's definitely a lot. There's a lot of change to be made in this situation. There's a lot of decisions to be made, and that can be really tough, especially because it's all coming at once.
Yes.
And of course, it all comes, you know, right around the time that your grandmother passed away.
Yes.
So you said that she's your only main family. That was so. Are your parents in the picture? What's your relationship like with them? Do you have one?
My mother died when I was young,
Okay.
and my dad and I don't have a relationship.
Okay.
And he remarried, but my stepmother is just, it's really not a healthy situation, so we really don't have a relationship anymore at all.
Okay.
And yeah, so.
Okay. So yeah. All right. I mean, there's a lot going on, that's for sure. But and I'm so glad that you came in here and you know, feel comfortable with disclosing all this to me. And you know, as we go along, as time goes on, we'll set goals for you to, you know, we'll slowly set goals for you to accomplish over time. And we'll start with one thing, you know, first. We're not going to jam it all at you at once. So we'll start off by addressing the relationship that you have with this young man. And, you know, work through that, so we'll take this one step at a time.
It's just, I think for me, it's hard because, like, I was raised in a family where, like, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and, you know, like, her husband really, I mean, I thought I would be married by now, and because I think that's kind of the way I was raised, and my grandmother was a stay-at-home mom, and her husband supported her, and so there's kind of like this family culture and tradition thing going on there, and here I am, and I'm like 42, and I'm still single, and I'm thinking about starting over, and it's just, it's really hard because my life is looking very different than my family's life has, and so sometimes I feel like that's part of the rift with my parents, is that they feel like, you know, my life hasn't turned out the way that theirs did, and so I'm not meeting their expectations, which causes a lot of that friction.
Right, yeah, and it is, I mean, you obviously are very brave in order to be stepping outside of the traditional roles, and you know, to be going back and getting your education. I know, you know, getting your education once you get older is more difficult. It's a big decision, and that's, I mean, it's, you know, a lot of people really can't do it, and so the fact that you're wanting to do it, that shows that you have a lot of, you know, you have a lot of courage, and there's a lot going for you. So
Thank you so much.
So okay, so we will, you know, start working through things and hopefully, you know, make some accomplishments here.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm here.
Me too.